Configuring email transmission. Regardless of many online communication methods that are available today, like WhatsApp, emails, WhatsApp, messengers and all that, emails remains the practical way to deliver messages from one end of the world to another, or to a person sitting in the office next to ours. So mostly in organizations, what they use email to do the communication. They use email services to do the communication. Whatever you want to do the communication to your seniors, HRs and whatever, you have to send the mail and they will respond with your mail. So that it is like recorded communications. So nobody can deny like it is, we have not sent this or they have not sent me this. So everything is done on the email, mostly. Now, if you see the following image, it will describe how the mail transport in our network. Now first, there is a protocol used to transfer the mail. There is a protocol, it is called SMTP. SMTP means Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This protocol is used to send the email. The port number is 25 for this SMTP. Now this protocol used to send the mail. That means when you send the mail, when you send any mail, so you will use this SMTP protocol. So for example, this client is sending the mail to somebody. Suppose that user is sitting here in this system. We don't send the mail on system, we send the mail to particular user. So for example, user 1 is sending mail to user 2. So user 1 sends the mail and the mail will go to the mail server. And then the mail goes with this SMTP protocol. It uses the SMTP protocol to send the mail to server. Now when the server receives the mail, it stores it into the mailbox of that user. Like user 1 sent the mail to user 2. So the mail will go and stored into the user 2 mailbox. Now if you have multiple servers, or maybe suppose if this email which is sending the user 2 is in different mail domain, maybe it is in the different domain and there is a different mail server for it. For example, suppose this user is of Gmail and it is sending the mail to Hotmail user. That means the Hotmail user's mail is in the Hotmail mailbox in the mail server, and Gmail user's mail is into the Gmail server. So first it will go to the Gmail server, and then Gmail server will see like, okay, this is for the Hotmail, so it will redirect the mail to this other server, and then in that server it will store into the mailbox of that user. So it is stored into the mailbox of that user, and whenever the users try to access it, like for example, the user is sitting on this machine and it wants to see the mail, so it will send the request to get the mail, and that will use this POP3 or IMAP protocol. So it could use POP3 or IMAP protocol to receive the mail. So basically it is receiving the mail from the server. So sending mail, the SMTP protocol used, and for receiving the mail, POP3 or IMAP protocol used. So to make this possible, what happens? Several things happen behind the scene in order for an email message to be delivered from the client application such as Thunderbird, Outlook, or webmail services such as Gmail or Yahoo Mail. These are the mail clients. Thunderbird, we can use it in the Linux systems. Outlook we have in the Windows system, or we can use it on the webmail services. Webmail services which we can access from the browser, that is Gmail or Yahoo Mail. Now to a mail server, from these clients applications it goes to the mail server, and from there to the destination server, and finally to its intended recipient. An SMTP protocol. In SMTP, that means Simple Mail Transfer Protocol service must be in place in each server. So that is the reason why in this lecture we will see how we can set up the SMTP server in RHEL7, where emails sent by local user even to another local user are forwarded to the central mail server for easier access. So this SMTP protocol, SMTP server needs to be configured in our RHEL7 system to make this mail transfer work. And for the mail transfer, so what we need in our RHEL, in our Linux to work this email transmission. So first thing we need is this, is the MTU, MTA. Now what is MTA? It is actually mail transfer agent. So this is what we need, mail transfer agent, for configuring this SMTP protocol in our Linux system. Now what mail transfer agent we have? So we have SendMail and Postfix as a mail transfer agent. Now, in previous Linux versions, of Linux, of RHEL, we have default MTA as a send. So SendMail was the default MTA available in these previous versions of Linux. Now we have Postfix. Now in RHEL7, by default we have Postfix as a mail transfer agent. So now in a RHEL7 we have default MTA as a Postfix. So this one is the default MTA we have in RHEL7. Now when we install the system and we select that we want to configure it like a server, GUI with server, and additionally we select the mail server packages, then what it do here, by default it installed the Postfix right now in our RHEL7. In previous versions, when we select at the time of installation, if we select that I want a mail server, then what it do, it actually install the SendMail. But now it installed this Postfix as a default MTA. So in RHEL7, the default mail transfer agent we have is a Postfix. Postfix is installed and it is running. Now by default, when you have a Postfix installed, so what it do here, it actually sends mail to the local system. By default, it uses to send the mail to for the system generated mail to the administrators. Now by default, when you install it, when we have this Postfix installed in our system, that means we have SMTP protocol configured. SMTP protocol configured and running. So by default, when we have a postfix installed, so that means what, the SMTP protocol is configured is and running, and it is used to send system generated mails. System generated mails. Now what this system generated mails? System generated mails, that means whenever any problem or any error comes in our system, so it do what? It generates system mail to administrators. So our system do what? Our system generate the mails. Generate mail to administrator. Now administrator, that means in our case it is root. About the problem. So basically it do this. Now if we don't have this installed, maybe that means what, if we don't have if we have a postfix installed, so SMTP protocol is configured and running, and it will use to generate the mail to system generated mail to the administrator root. And if it is not installed, that means still the system generate the notification, but it only goes to logs. It will only log the problems, but it will not send the mail because the mail service is not available. So if it is available, then it will generate the mail for the administrator also. Now that means what? If it is installed and running, so what it do actually, it sends the system generated mail to administrator, and that is what local. So I can add it here as local. So that means what? By default, our postfix MTA, or we can say service listen on local host. Listen on local host. Local host, that means it listen on 127.0.0.190 address. And that means it will not accept mail from any other server, any other machine. So that means it will not mail from any other system. It will only accept mail from local system because it generates the notification and mail for the system, and it's only send the mail to the local administrator on only the local system. So it will not accept any mail from the other system because it listens on the on the IP of loopback. It is listening on local host. So it will not accept anything, any mail from the other system. So now let's see first how we can configure it. So for example, maybe if it is not installed or maybe it is installed, what we do here, we will do configuration. So for configuring this, what we need is the package. First, package requirement. So the package which we require to configure this, the package name is postfix. So the package name we need is postfix. This is to configure the server. This is to configure the SMTP protocol in our Linux system. Now to install, first we should check whether it is installed or not. We will run rpm command -q and we can give the postfix, or we can use yum also. If it is installed and configured, then we can use yum list postfix. Now if it is not installed, then we should install. So if it is not installed, so we can install it with the rpm command using ivh and the path of the package and then the package name postfix. Or we can use yum if it is configured. So we can use yum install and postfix. So first what we need, this package to configure it, and first we'll check is it installed or not, and if it is installed, then we will see how we can configure it. So let's check in our system, is it there or not. Okay, so I will check with rpm-q and I will say postfix. So it is installed. Now when it is installed, that means it is also configured. It is installed because I have selected the mail server at the time of installation. So postfix is installed by default. In previous versions of Linux, if you go to RHEL 5.4, then you will see sendmail is by default available. It will install sendmail as a mail transfer agent. Now if you don't like sendmail, then at that time you can use the postfix at that time also, but it is not installed by default. But now it is installed by default and you can use it. Now that means when you check that netstate command, and if you check that, if I grab port number 25, port number 25 is for the SMTP protocol. So you can see here that it is running, and it is listening. It is listening on which? It is listening on 127. So by default it is installed. At the time of installation, when we select the mail server to install, so it will install the postfix, and it is listening on only 127. So wherever you install it, it will listen on only 127. Now if it is not installed, then you will use yum or rpm to install it. Now it will not say anything, because it will say that it is already installed with the latest version. So it is not doing anything because it is already installed. Now after installation, what we'll do here, we'll check what are the important files we have. So I will do list postfix. Now here what we have, so first under etc we have the configuration files. Configuration files are there. There are lots of different configurations are there, but in that configurations we have this as a main configuration file. So this is the main configuration file for our postfix. Then we have some commands to check the queue in postfix, to check the aliases, and we can use the send mail postfix. Then we have this as a service. So this is the service for the postfix, and the name of the service is postfix. Then we have some library files here. These are the library files related to software. Then we have some commands here, some command for the administrators to check the queue and all that. And then we have documentations related to the mail server, related to the postfix server. Then we have some man pages here. Then we have a pool directory. Now a pool directory, that means under where as pool directory we have, and under that as pool directory we have postfix directory, and in that postfix directory you have different directories here. These directories are holding like active mail, bounce mail, when we mail corrupt it goes here, defer mail, deferred, flushed, hold, incoming, mail drop, PIDs, private, public, save, trace. These are the mail related options, the mail related directories are there. So if suppose some mail bounce back, so it goes into there, some mails goes corrupt, so it goes there, flush mail, hold mail, so it goes like this. To these are the mails directory. This is the mail directory here. So these are the important files for the postfix. So after installation, if you want to start the server, then what you do? Now suppose if it is not installed, so what you will do, you will install the service, install the package, then what you do, you will start the server. For starting the server, what you will do, you will start the service and make sure the service will run always when we reboot the system. So you will run the command start postfix. This is the service for our postfix. Now when I run this, it will not do anything because it is already installed. And you will run enable also. Now it is already running and enable. We can check it by using the status command. So it is already running and it is also enabled. This is starting this postfix. This is what the mail transfer agent. So the postfix is basically what it is, mail transfer agent. Now after you start the service, so to start and configure the postfix, what we do, first install the packages, and then after installing the packages, we will start the service to start the SMTP server with the default settings and enable it to run it after the reboot also. Now for that you will run systemctl start command, and then for enabling it, systemctl enable, and check the status after it. Now by default it will run with the default settings. And what is the default setting? It is to receive the mail from only local host, and it only do what? It used to generate the mail, generate the system mails about the problems and error, and it send it to the local administrator. Now local users can also send and receive the mail, but only on the local system. They cannot use it on other system. Now after this we should check the basic configuration. For that we can run postconf command to check the configurations. To check the default configuration, we can run the command postconf without any option. So what it will do, it will display the current settings, current configurations. This is the dump of current configurations from the configuration files, like what we have, what the configurations are there. So these are the configurations are configured by default. Now in these all settings, if you see on top, go to top, so I gave the command here. Now when you go down here, it is different configuration for address verification. These are map, allow, main user, no, minimum user, maximum user, whatever settings are there, authorize, what to do with the bounce mail, with some commands, clean up, where is the daemon directory, where is the library directory, what is the default, and default transporter is what? SMTP. This is what the default transporter. Then when we go down, so I will show you this important setting here. This is the important setting. Init interface is equal to localhost, and this is why this is because of this setting. Because of this setting, what it do listen to only localhost, and it will accept only mail from the localhost. So we can change this, and we can change this to accept the mail from the other source also. And it is using my domain, my host name, my network, and my origin. So it is using all these things from our local system. It is using it from the current system. Now, as we saw, by default it do what? It listen on local interface, and is only used to generate the system mail, because it is only listening on the local system. Now local system, that means it will accept the mail from this to this. It will not accept mail from other source. For example, we have some user accounts here, user 1, user 2, user 3. So I will log in with the user 1 here. I will log in. I will go to this command line here, and I will log in as a user 1 here. Now I am going to use the mail because it is already running. We have not configured it, so I can use this mail tool. Now this is what basic command line tool to send and receive mail. Now this is not related to SMT. This is not related to postfix. This is the basic package we have. This is the basic package which comes with the networking package group. So it is installed, mostly it is installed, and if it is not installed, then you should install the package name is mail. Now what it do, this is what it is, like a mail client. It is a command line mail client to use to send or receive mail from command line. It is very basic tool. Now when I want to see the mails, I will give command mail, and it is showing that no mail for user 1. I will log in with the other user on other terminal, user 2, and the password is this. Now if user 2 can check the mail, and it says no mail for user 2 also. So basically no user name, no mail for user 1, no mail for user 2 also. Now these users can send mail to each other from the local system, but it will only go from local system, and it will go only to the local system. It will not be accepted from the other system. Now user 1 is logged in here, user 2 is logged in here, and user 1 is here. Now user 1 will try to send the mail to user 2. So again I can use this mail command. Remember, this command is not related to our postfix. This is to configure. This is the mail client. It is a mail client and it is already installed. So I want to send to mail to user 2. Mail user 2. Now when I press enter, it says give me the subject. So I will say hello. Now you have to type the real message. So whatever the message you want to give, like I am testing local transport, and Control D to save and send the message. So when you press Control D, so it will save and send the message. So I send the message to user 2. Now user 2 is logged in here in this terminal. Previously it was saying no mail. Now when I try mail command again, so now it is showing the mail. Now what it is showing here is that N means it's a new mail, and the new mail is this. It is coming from user 1, and this is user1 at server.example.com, and it comes on Monday March 1, 12:46. This, and this is the message subject, and it shows here the mailbox for user 2. By default, all the mailbox of users will go into var as pool mail and users directory. This is the default mailbox. So it is showing the mail here. N means new. This is the new mail. After reading the mail, it will not show N. Now if you want to read this mail, you will have to press this number. So if you have multiple mails, then you will see the numbers of those mails. So if you want to read those mails, you have to give the number. So I want to read this mail, so I will give number 1 and enter. Now it is showing me the message in detail. So this is coming from user 1 and the date and time. This is the return path, and that means if I send the reply, then it will go to this user. It is to user 2, and this is the date, and this is for user 2. Subject is hello, and this is the message. It is a plain text, and this is the message. I'm testing the local transport. So this mail client we can use in command line to get the send and receive mail also. Now what is happening here is user 1 is sending the mail to user 2, but both are from the same system. That means I have pressed Ctrl D to exit from it. So user 1 is also from the same system, and user 2 is also from the same system. That means they both the users are logging into the same machine and trying to send and receive the mail. But if I try to send a mail from the other system, it will not work. So now I am going to this other machine here, and from here if I try to send the mail, now from here if I try to send the mail, so I can use the mail tool again here because it is also installed here. You can check which package is giving this command. You can also check. So first you will check the command path. This is the command path. Then you can check with rpm-qf command that which package is giving this command file. So you can see it is the mailx package is responsible for this command. So if this command is not working, that means you are not having this package installed. So this is the mail client package. It is not related to postfix. Okay, now I am on this client system and I want to send the mail to this system. Now before doing this, what is important is DNS server. This is very important in mail. So if we configure the mailing, then you have to have DNS server. Now remember, if you try to use it with the localhost file, it won't work. So DNS is very important, because if you tried it to use it from the host file, it will not work. Remember, if you don't have a DNS, then still you can make a records in this host file to work. So if you add the name and IP in this host file, then still it will resolve. But for specifically this DNS, it will for the mail server, for the postfix server, it won't work. It can work for the web server, but remember, adding entry in the host file, that means you have to add it into the every client in your system. Every client, that means in every, if you are having 200 client machines, then in each and every host machine you have to configure the host file, and you have to add all the records of the different machines. That will be difficult, and that is why we use the DNS server. Now still, if you use it for any other thing like web server, you want to resolve some name, you can add it into the host file, it will work, but not for this mail service. You need DNS for it, because by default it won't accept it. But if you want it to use that as a host file, then you have to add some setting into the main configuration file of the postfix to use the host file to resolve the name. It will not use by default. It is not using by default the host file. So if you need to use the host file, then you have to add a setting into the main configuration file. But this is not good, because if you are having lots of users, lots of machines, then it is not good. It is not useful, because you have to make it entry into the each and every host, particularly for every client. So that is not good. You need what? You need basically what? DNS server, and your server name must be resolved by the DNS server. And even it is very good, you can add the record for the mail server as a MX record in a mail server in this DNS. For the mail server, you can add the MX record into the DNS, so that it will be easily resolved. So we have configured the DNS, so we can resolve the server name. So first you should check that whether the DNS is working or not, and it is resolving the name or not. So this is what server.example.com, and it is resolving it. It is giving the IP address, that means it is okay. And we can check this client also, that whether it is resolving or not. So this one is also resolving properly, that means everything is okay. If I ping with the name, still it is resolving and getting the reply. If I ping the client machine, still it is resolving and giving the reply. That means DNS is working properly. So make sure that you have entry in the DNS server. That means in the DNS server, forward zone file, you have this as a name server. So you can have MX record for your mail server. So you have to have the MX record added into the DNS, so that it will know that this is our mail server. So if you have not added the MX record into the DNS, then you should have to add it. So I have added it, and I will restart the name service. So make it perfect. So the name must be resolved, and is resolving, so that when I give the email address with the name, then it will accept. It will have to resolve. If you don't have a DNS, then it will keep resolving it, and it will not able to send the mail. Now I will try to send the mail from this client to this server, but it will not accept, because this server is doing what? It is accepting it only from the local host. It is only accepting from the local host. So if I try to send the mail, I will use the same mail tool, mail, for the other machine root user, root add server dot example.com. So I am giving the email address of that root user of that server machine, and I am trying to send the mail to that server machine, of the root user of that server machine. Now when I press enter, it says the give the subject. So I say okay, hello root, and then your message, testing mail from client, and control D to save. Now I did send the mail, it is connected, it is resolving the name, and it is pinging the server also, but it will not able to send the mail because this server will not accept the mail. Now I have logged in as a root here. Now when I check the mail here, it says no mail for root user. Now there is no mail for this root user now, because why? It is not getting the mail. So where the mail goes actually, so the mail actually remains in the queue. You can check by the command mail queue. If you see here, it remains in the queue and it has not been delivered. Now what is the error here? It says connect to server and it says no route to host. Okay, now first it is the problem of no route to host. Now no route to host is not the problem of that server is listening on local host. It is the problem of firewall first. So this is what the problem of firewall. Whenever you see this no route to host, that means it is basically problem of firewall. So what we have to do actually, we have to enable the firewall also. So let me enable it. Permanent add service SMTP and reload the firewall. So I'm enabling the SMTP port so that anyone can send the mail and firewall will not block it. Now firewall is not stopping it. Now if I try to send the mail again, now remember this mail will also, it will try this mail to send again. It is in the queue, so it will try again. It will try again to send the mail, but it will take a little time. So it has not been tried again, but it will try this mail again and it will try to send the mail again, and again it will not able to send. So I will not wait for it. What I will do, I will resend the mail. I will send another mail here, subject, and this is what message, control D. Now this mail will also remain in the queue. So when you check the queue, now you can see it is also in the queue. So this second mail is also in the queue, but what is the error here? It says connect to the server on port number 25, but the problem is the connection is refused. Previously the error was no route to host. This was the error because of the firewall, but this one is saying connection refused. Now connection refused, that means the server is not accepting the mail, it is rejecting. This server on port number 25, it is not accepting the mail because it is only accepting the mail from the local host, and it is not accepting mail from this other machine. So if we want to accept the mail from the other machine, now why we want to accept the mail from the other machine? This is because we want to configure it as a mail server. Because this is because we want to configure it as a mail server. Now mail server means what? Suppose this is our mail server. Now when client logins, so clients will log into client machine. They will not log into server. Now for example, we have configured the NIS domain or LDAP domain. We have option to configure this in Linux system. So these, we have a domain server, and for example, let's say this is our NIS server also. Now user will log in into these client machines. Suppose user 1 logs into this machine and user 2 will log into this machine. Now if user 1 wants to send the mail to user 2, then what it do? It will send the mail to the mail server, the SMTP server. So it will give the option like command. It will, let's say it will use mail command. So it's a mail the mail command and the email address of user2 at server.example.com. So the mail will go to the server here. It will use the SMTP protocol to send the mail to server. Now server have to accept the mail from this client. This is not the local client, it is different. It is different machine, it is having a different IP. Now this server must have to accept the mail from this client. Otherwise it will not work. That means this user has to log into the same server to send the mail to other user, and that user also have to log into the same system to see the mail. So it is not like a mail server thing. So if you want to configure it like a mail server, then what we have to do, we have to use it a centralized mail server. Then we have to configure this mail server to accept the mail from the other systems. Otherwise, if it is not accepting the mail from the other system, then it will not work. So we have to configure this server to accept the mail from the other system. By default, it does not accept it. So what we have to do here, we have to now configure the mail server. So by default, it listens on only the local host loopback IP. So to accept the mail from the other machines, what we do, we have to configure it. So first we open the main configuration file to configure this. Now what we configured here in the main configuration file, etc postfix main.cf. Now in the main configuration file, it is heavily commented, and you can see these comments are the information, so you can read those informations. Now this setting is working here, and this is for first what, like it is setting the queue directory. So when your mail remains on the queue, so it will be here, it will store here in this for the system. Then this is the directory for the commands, then this is the directory for the daemon. Then you have mail owner is as a postfix user. This is the user account which is owning the service. Then we have host name and domain name. Now this one we have to enable it. So first what we will do, we will uncomment this line number 75, and here we will define the host name. So it is having a default name here as a sample name, so we will change it to our server name. So our server is what, server.example.com. Now it is what, if you see this, it is the parameter specify the internet host name of this mail system. The default is to use the fully qualified domain name for the get host name, and is used to default value for the many other configuration parameters. So basically it is what, it is a variable we are setting. Remember, we are setting only the variable my host name. Now this variable is going to be used in the full configuration file. In this configuration file, there are so many configurations are there where this variable is used, and this variable is used, and whenever this variable is used, that means what, the server name will be this. Then if you go down, this is line number 75. Now here you have line number 83. In this line number 83, we are setting another variable. It says my domain, and here you will define your mail domain, which is our DNS domain, example.com. So these two things, these two variables we are setting, line number 75 and line number 83. We set the variables first. Now these two variables, when we set, these variables will be used in the whole configuration file. For example, here we will enable this two lines also. We will uncomment line number 98 and 99, and this is what it is defining here about origin, my origin, and my origin I am using the variable my host name. That means what, server.example.com. And also I am using my origin, that means my domain, that means my domain means example.com. It is to define the source email address. That means I can send the mail, it will accept the mail as like user1 at server1.example.com, and even it can accept the mail as server1 user1 at example.com. So it can accept the mail with the both options. So for that, what I will enable these two variables, that is what uh, line number 98 and 99. So what I will do, I will uncomment these two lines. After this, we'll go down here. Now here, this option on line number 116, it says inet interfaces is equal to localhost, and that is why it is listening only on from localhost. It is only listening from 127 MP. So if I want to accept the mail from other sources, then I have to make sure that inet interface is like I can suppose if I want to accept the mail from only my domain name example.com, so I will use the variable my domain here, or I can use the variable here like my host name. So it will accept only mail from the my host name or my domain, or if you want to accept the mail from all the sources, then you can use all. So I am going to use what, all. So I will do what, I will comment this line number 116, and I will uncomment the line number 113, and this is the line which is I am uncommenting. Now we don't have to do any other settings here, because other settings are all going to be used here, like the variable which we have set, like here it is saying my destination, and it is using those variables here, my host name, my domain. So it will use those variables all through on this file. So we don't have to do anything else here. So I will do what, I will save the file, and then to make sure the settings get updated, I will restart the service. Postfix. Now when I check netstrade command, now you can see it is now listening from port number 25 and from all IP. Now it can accept the mail from any other source, any other system. And now when I check from this client, now those two mails were in the queue. Now these two mails were on a queue, and if we check now again, now it is saying empty. So it has tried it, and it has resent the mail, and the mail is gone onto that system. Now when I check here again in this server, and you can see it here, it is directly saying you have a new mail for the root. So actually those two mails are now delivered. So when I check mail command, I can see those two mails here. So those two mails are now it have come to this server example.com, and we can read those mails by using the number 2. I want to read. I can see the mail is coming from the root, from the client.example.com, and this is the subject, and this is the message. Control D to exit from it. So now what, we have configured the server as a mail server so that it can receive the mail from, accept the mail from other machines. Now this means what, we don't have to configure postfix on each and every client. We don't need postfix on every client. The postfix is to configure on the server. So it will be as a server. It will accept the mail with the SMTP protocol. It will accept the mail from the SMTP protocol. So when the client sends the mail, so on the client machine we don't have to have a postfix configured here on a client machine. Now only case you configured postfix on the client also when you want to configure both side mails, like you want to send mail to this machine and you want to send mail this machine to this machine, like you are working on the workgroup environment where you don't have any domain environment, you just want to send the mail from this machine to this machine. In this case, this machine's root will send the mail to this machine root. Now in this environment where we are having a domain, like we are having an NIS domain and the users of this NIS can log into these clients, so in client systems we don't need postfix configured, they just need a client application. Like for the command line, they need what we have by default available, the mail command. Mail command is also a mail client to send and receive the mail, very small command line tool. And we can use any other tool, like if you're having a graphical version of the client, if you're having a graphical version, then you can use Thunderbird, Kmail. There is different applications available to use it to send the mail. Or we can have another application, another client, mail client, which is called Mutt. We can also use Mutt. It is also command line tool which we can use to send receive mail from the client to server. Now remember, we are only sending the mail, we are not receiving the mail. That means we are only when user 1 sends the mail, so it goes to the server and is stored into the mailbox of user 2. Now when user 2 logs into this machine, and when it logs into this machine, it gets all the profile file of this user on this system loaded, and with that profile files it loaded also the mails. So when it checks the mails, it gets the mail from the server by using the NIS or whatever the service, NFS or whatever it is using to load the profile files. So it will get the mail, but it is not loading, it is not receiving the mail here, it is actually accessing the mail from the server. So basically we are configured only SMTP. For receiving the mail, if you want to configure the receiving mail, like suppose if you are using Thunderbird, Kmail, or even Outlook also, those applications do what? They used to send the mail and they also receive the mail from the server. Now for that, you have to configure the POP3 or IMAP protocol. We have not configured that. So we are using what? Normal SMTP to send the mail. Like we are having an NIS domain environment and those clients, this is our NIS server and this is our mail server also. So when the user logs in here in this client machine, they will get their all profile files and mails also here loaded. So when user 1 sends the mail, it goes to the server and stored into the user 2 mailbox, and when user 2 access it, when user 2 logs in, then its profile and mail all everything is loaded here, and when it checks the mail, it sees the mail there because it is already loaded here. So it is not receiving the mail, it is only what? It is accessing the mail. So we can use this Mutt also. Mutt does not require to download the mail from the server. It can work with the SMTP just like this mail command. But it is like more features, it is having more features, and it is having a little TUI feature, like it will give you text user interface. It is still command line, but it has more features. So, but it is also not installed by default. So if you want to use it, then you have to install it. So I will show you Mutt also. Like for example, this is our client machine, and from the client machine you want to receive the mail. So you can use this mail tool. These are system generated mails. Or you can use Mutt. Now Mutt is not installed by default. It is not working, command is not found. So you can install the Mutt. So I have a Yum server, you can use RPM also. And it is having 2 dependencies also. So it has 2 dependencies and it has the package Mutt. So I will install it. Now it is installed, so I can use it to send and receive mail from the command line. I will use command mut to open it. So when you run the mut command, it says the mail does not exist, create it. I say yes, and you can see now it is showing the mails here, current mail. Now here you can press Q to quit, D to delete, U to undo, S to save, M for mail, R for reply, G for group, and question mark for help. Let's say I want to create new mail. So what? I will use M. So when I press M, it gives me here option to give me the email address which I want to send. So I want to send the mail to root@example.com. Now when I press enter, it says give me the subject. So I will say test mut. Now when you press enter, it opens the temporary file for the mail and it opens it in VI. So it opens the VI editor for editing the mail. So VI editor is a good editor. It can you can have lots of things in. You can press I and then you can type your messages. You can design your messages because VI has all the options. So you can. This is the mail from client using mut. Now after you finish the mail typing the message, you can save it by :WQ because it is using what? This is what? VI editor, and for VI editor we use WQ to save. And now our mail is ready. So it is going to be sent to this and is coming from this and to this. You can add CC, you can add BCC. This is the subject. You can add reply to FCC and security is none. And this is the message which we are going to send, which is in plain text. Also you have options here: Y to send, Q to abort, T to change the to, C to add the CC, S to change the subject, A to attach the file, D to add the description, and question mark to help. You can even attach some files also. Let's attach some file here. So I will press A. Now it is saying that which file you want to attach. If you want to see what are the files, you can give question mark. So I will give question mark. So it's showing here my root's home directory. If I press enter, now in that it is showing all the files available there. So I can select whatever file I want to attach. So I will use this moon.txt to attach. Okay, I will attach this anaconda and I will press enter. So this is my message and this is what the file I attached. And then if you want to send, then you press Y. So I send Y and now the mail is gone. Now mail is gone to this machine here. Now here also the mut is not installed. So if I like to have mut, then what I will do, I will install it here also. And yes, now when I open it, it says yes, I want to create the mailbox, and here I can see the mail. I can read it by pressing enter and I can see what this is the message. It is coming from this, that, and here if you see I for exit, this for the previous page, hyphen space to next page, view to view, V to view the attachment. So we have some attachment here, so I will press V and there is the attachment and I can read the attachment also. This is the attachment. And I can save it, I can print it. This is the description. And this is what the message. And if you want to reply, then you can reply with the R command. I to exit and Q to quit from this mud. So this mud is what it is, just a client, mail client application. So if you are using a graphical, then you can use graphical clients like Outlook, Thunderbird, Kmail. We have different mail application clients. But basically what we have configured the server. So this is what configuring email transmission by using the SMTP, and the mail transfer agent is Postface.